United Airlines reported better than expected results and has started a share buyback program. LeBeau joins us now with more.
Scott Kirby, CEO of United Airlines. Let's talk about the third quarter. I think the swinging to a positive revenue per available seat mile. Do you believe that we are now past that point in the industry where from here it should be fairly steady growth?
Yeah, well, the third quarter is another in a long string of good quarters at United. But the more important thing is we'd been talking about this inflection point in industry supply that was going to happen, and it happened in mid-August. It looks even better going forward. Revenue environment is strong. Corporate revenue is up 13% in the quarter. It gotten even stronger in October. So the outlook, both from demand and a supply perspective, look really good going forward.
What do you expect for the fourth quarter? And specifically, some people have talked about some noise, potentially slower bookings around the election. When you look at whether it's the election in early November or further out with the holidays, what are you expecting?
You know, the holidays look good. There are always things like elections and calendar shifts that happen in the industry. We at United try to adopt a no excuses philosophy and not really get focused on the short-term noise. And so while there are some of those headwinds in the fourth quarter, there'll be tailwinds next year because we'll be comping to those easier comps.
You've got a number of 737 MAXs. You've taken delivery of them this year, but you've got a whole slew of them that are in the order book over the next couple of years. Given the strike at Boeing, are you readjusting your timeline in terms of saying, okay, we're not going to get what we thought in 2025 or 2026?
Well, I'm really more focused on the long term, and I'm very encouraged because I thought the problem with at Boeing was cultural, that they shifted to a short-term financial metric, short-term stock price, and they needed to get back to their roots of being focused on building great products with great engineering, quality, safety. And the biggest news actually is the recent news that they're going to do a $10 billion share sale. That is rebuilding the base, getting the company capitalized in a way to get the long term. And the strike is a hangover of all that cultural legacy. Yes, it's going to have an impact in the short term, but I'm willing to get through that to get the company back on track in the long term, and I do feel confident about that.
You know Kelly Ortberg, the CEO.
Yeah.
Is that the main reason that you have more confidence now that they are going to get back and do things the right way?
I do. I have confidence in that. And Kelly had told me when he first started, and now it's in the public domain, that to me the biggest step really in decades at Boeing is the willingness to go and sell equity, to put the company on a long-term financial footing that they can invest in the products, they can invest in quality, they can invest in safety. Like, that's a really big signpost for any of us that care about the long term. As a customer, I care about the long term. If I was an employee of Boeing, I would care about the long term. And the truth is, for shareholders, in the long term, it's much better to put the company on a solid financial footing. So that's really encouraging to me.
Scott, Becky has a question for you. Becky?
Hey, Scott. Thanks, Phil. Scott, we had Sarah Nelson on from the Flight Attendants Union earlier this morning. Obviously, they are upset. They have authorized a strike, the flight attendants at United, if they can't reach an agreement with you on the contract negotiations. Just wonder what the latest is with those contract negotiations. I tried to ask Sarah if they would accept the offer that American Airlines flight attendants had accepted. I'm still confused as to whether or not you've actually put that same offer on the table or not.
Well, I think our flight attendants are doing a phenomenal job. They're the best in the industry. They're the best in the world. I can see it in our customer scores. A lot of the improvement at United. I tell the flight attendants that they're the face of United Airlines, and they're doing a great job. And they deserve, and they are going to get an industry-leading contract. And so we're working with them. At their request, we're in federal mediation. We're going to get there. They deserve, and they're going to get an industry-leading contract.
Is this a situation that customers should be worried about? Because they could strike, apparently, as early as maybe Thanksgiving holidays.
That's absolutely incorrect. They can't. We're under a federal process where the federal government would have to release us from mediation, and this was at their request. And the mediators we're continuing to meet with. Yeah, and so there's no imminent risk of any action like that.
Scott, let me ask you about the international routes that you guys announced.
Yeah.
These are off the beaten path. These are not your typical, hey, we're flying into Frankfurt or we're flying into Barcelona. How lucrative have these become for you as you start to say, we're going to do select flights to select smaller destinations?
You know, the quick answer is they've done really well. And this was one of those. I'm a route network planner by background, and that's where I started my career. And during the pandemic, we had extra airplanes, and as we were starting to come out, there was a lot more leisure demand. And Patrick and the team came to me with ideas, places that I didn't know the airport codes, which was unusual for me, and started them. But some of them have been some of our most profitable markets. We have a unique network with our hubs on the coast that we can fly to places like Nuuk, Greenland, or Ulaanbaatar, and those have done really well. And our customers love them. They join our frequent flyer program. They get the credit card. Like, it's a great ecosystem. When
Patrick comes to you, is there ever a point where you're like, oh, get out of here? There's no way there's going to be enough traffic.
There used to be, but since they've all worked, I've stopped saying it. I've learned to listen to Patrick.